Good morning, everyone. It's actually afternoon. It is 12 o'clock. I should have woken up probably about an hour ago, but I woke up and I fell back asleep, which is why we're still here laying down in the bed. If you don't know what today is the day that Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment officially releases for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I am very excited about this game. I don't know if I've gotten the chance to really talk about it, but I've bought every single Hyrule Warriors game day one. That means the one that was on the Wii U, I bought that one. This series has always been super special to me. I don't know why, but I've always loved playing these games more than the typical person. I think that these games are super cool. When I bought the first one, it was actually one of the first games that I had ever pre-ordered. The first game I ever pre-ordered was Pokemon Y, but I think Hyrule Warriors might have been the second game I had ever pre-ordered before, because that came out in 2000. Actually, no, Mario Kart was probably the second game. Hyrule Warriors was probably like the third game I ever pre-ordered. I got to pre-order it like a week before. I had this like crazy surgery where they removed a port, and because of that, I was able to get a game. And so I chose Hyrule Warriors, and I'm glad I did because I had so much fun with that game. I'm actually kind of surprised though. I always saw that game as like a one-off. I never thought they would do more with it, but now they have with like the whole Breath of the Wild universe. The only gripe that I have about Hyrule Warriors is I kind of wish they would go back to what the very first game was, which was it being an original story with all the timelines coming together. I thought it was really cool how they pulled that off. I think they did it the best way possible there was always going to be issues and confusing things, but with that, I think they did it perfect with all things considering. That being said, you guys don't care about anything that I'm saying right now. I don't have a pre-order, which has probably been a normal thing that you guys are used to, but typically I do pre-order these first-party Nintendo games. I waited to pre-order something because I thought there was going to be a pre-order bonus. I thought Nintendo was going to be dropping pre-order bonuses for Hyrule Warriors at places like GameStop, Best Buy, places like that. And there was absolutely no pre-order bonus. And I'm very much surprised. But at the same time, I guess I shouldn't be surprised because we didn't get a pre-order bonus with Mario Galaxy 1+2. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Tarif situation, if that's why we're not getting any more pre-order bonuses, but it's been pretty annoying. That being said, I'm going to finish getting dressed and we're going to head downstairs. We're either going to go to GameStop or Best Buy. I think at this point, Best Buy is a better chance because GameStop typically only gets like 1 or 2 copies available for those who did not pre-order, because GameStop's whole system is to get things pre-ordered, which I understand why they do that. At the same time, I feel like they should have a little bit more extra copies than 1 and 2, but that's besides the point. Let's get dressed. We'll be meeting you somewhere at some location that I have not decided yet. All right, we have officially arrived at Best Buy. I have the sun directly in my eyes right now, so I can barely see. But that's besides the point. We're going inside to see if they have the game. I'm going to assume with it being a bigger release, not a third-party release like how we've been doing Best Buy before, that they're going to already have the game on the shelf. So hopefully that's there, because I always feel super awkward asking the Best Buy employees, because a lot of times they look at me like there's no way this game comes out because it's a Thursday. They're used to games still coming out on Friday, a lot of these employees, at least from what I've noticed. But let's go inside. We're approaching it. At this point, I'm not really sure. I don't think I see it, so that they got Switch 2s just out here at the spider wire. Kind of surprised, not gonna lie. I would think they would want those locked up, but they're probably getting so much stock right now with the Christmas season about to happen. And we're here at the games. If you predicted that it was not gonna be out here, you are correct, because it's not out here. So I'm gonna have to ask. I'm also curious to see if they got the new Meteoroid amiibos. Those came out today. Not buying those. It's kind of weird that they're releasing the Meteoroid amiibos. They're releasing 2 of 3 today. And then the last one will come out next month when Meteoroid Prime 4 releases. think that's kind of weird. I don't know if that is a marketing strategy. I don't know what you call that as a marketing strategy, because that to me seems like one of the stupidest marketing strategies that I've ever seen. But there are amiibo over here. I'm very curious. Coleman actually was at Best Buy last week, and he found the Prime 4 amiibos early, which I thought was very interesting. It doesn't look like they have the amiibo out. They sell a kill switch. I didn't know they sold this. That's a big deal for a lot of people. I'm very surprised. I'm surprised that Satisfy Grip doesn't sell their stuff if the kill switch company is able to get a deal with Best Buy to sell their stuff. No, I am not seeing it. Oh, there's this. The $1,000 handheld that was what everyone thought was going to be beating the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, it's been reviewed okay is what it looks like. This new Xbox Raleigh X, whatever, ROG Xbox Raleigh X, that's a stupid title. Just call it the ROG Xbox at that point. Either way, this is $1,000. This did not beat the Nintendo Switch 2. I am curious to see how well it sells. I think it's still going to sell pretty decent, but it seems like the Steam Deck is still kind of better than this device right here. But I am going to get ready to ask a Best Buy employee to see if they have the game, or maybe it's sold out, but they don't have a price tag over there for it, so I don't even think they've put it out. That really surprises me. I would have thought with it being a bigger release, I wouldn't have to ask, but that's okay. It feels awkward doing this, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So just asked, they're looking for it right now. It's in the back. I wanted to go ahead and take a look at the Switch 1 games. I did notice a few cool things. First, the ones being Tomb Raider 4 through 6 Remastered Deluxe Edition. I have the original version, but I think it's cool to find the big box. You know, normally I would have bought something like this beforehand, but I wasn't too impressed with the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 1 through 3 Deluxe Edition that came out, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I was like not too impressed with it, so that's why I didn't feel like it was worth the extra money to get the Deluxe Edition, so I just went with Standard this time. They also have, I guess they made a Turnip Boy sequel. I honestly did not know that that existed, so that is pretty cool. But in terms of any other cool games over here, there's not really much more that's newer out here. I guess the Once Upon a Katamari, I know a lot of people go crazy over this one, or they go over that series. I think that's the first time the Katamari series had a sequel in a very long time. But I don't think that they've put out any new games. Or actually, there's this, which we already have. Cool game, by the way. The Turtles Splinted Fate. It's a Turtles rogue game, or roguelike game. It is crazy. That's actually been pretty fun. I don't think anything else is over here, though. So we're going to wait and see if they got the game. They're looking for it in the back, so they do have it, but it's mysteriously in the back. All right, so I got the game. It was $75. Brutal. That's okay. What I thought was very interesting, that I had no idea that this existed. This is the first time it's ever been offered to me. The Best Buy Protection Plan is $12 for this. I'm like speechless, because I always think about GameStop with its protection plan. You know, the GameStop protection plan low-key might be better than the Best Buy when it comes to Switch games. Although at the same time, though, GameStop has it where if you have to use the protection plan, they give you a pre-owned version of it now. It used to be where they give you a new version of whatever it is you were trading in for the protection plan, but now it's just as used product. So I don't know if that's better. I just thought that that was interesting, that was $12 for the protection plan. That's like pretty expensive for, I guess, a $70 game, which I guess $70, $12 protection. I guess if you look at it that way, it's not that bad, but I guess I'm used to GameStop's protection plan. I don't buy the GameStop protection plan, but I'm used to them advertising to me that's like $5, or actually I think it's cheaper than that. It's like $3, $4. That's besides the point. We need to get ready to go, but I did notice something that I wanted to point out before we left. Check this out. A Lego Game Boy set. This is pretty cool. Definitely not buying this just because I don't think I have space for this, but I do think that this is probably one of the coolest things that they've put out. I think that this is being sold at Sam's for like $50. I think everywhere else is $60. but that is really cool. That's probably something that I think a lot of people will go crazy for during the Christmas season. But we got the game. Let's go ahead and go back home to unbox it and see if there's anything cool inside. We have no pre-order bonus to flex because no place had it, so it is what it is. If you're in America, we're no longer getting pre-order bonuses, I think. But let's go back home. Well, I am back with the game. Gotta be honest, something that I was thinking about on the way back home is that there's a big selling point to this game that no one's really talking about. And that's the fact that this is essentially the final chapter of that whole Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom storyline. They said that they're doing no more with this storyline after this game, and that the next Zelda game is going to be a whole new era, which I think is really exciting to see, especially since we've had that era for the entire Nintendo Switch generation, and to have a new one for Switch 2 whenever we get a 3D Zelda game is going to be exciting, I think. But that's besides the point. I am curious though what they're going to do next year for the Zelda anniversary. Last anniversary, they did nothing really with Zelda. I don't know if they considered Skyward Sword HD a celebration of Zelda's anniversary, but we had nothing. And the 40th anniversary is next year, and it's going to be going on while they're still celebrating Mario's anniversary. So I kind of feel like we're getting nothing Zelda next year, but this is a nice thing to have to hold us over to whenever we get that next big mainline Zelda game. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open it. This is the front of the cover. Really a big fan of this cover. I think it looks really nice. There's also that character right there that there's a lot of speculation that somehow that character is going to become Link by the end of the game. I don't think so, but we'll see what happens at the end of the game. This is also the back of the cover. Honestly, nice screenshots. Still not the greatest screenshots. Like, well, I don't know. Those are good screenshots. I still feel like if you look back, 15 years ago, I feel like the back of the cases really demonstrated and told you what to expect from a video game. And I feel like nowadays, we don't really get that out of any game from any platform right now. I couldn't find my knife, so I found the next best thing. I really don't know what this is, but it was near my door, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna use it to open up the game. The reason why games are $70, this plastic ceiling that we are taking off right here, right now. Oh, the value. If I took this to GameStop, be $35. Oh my gosh, look at that ceiling that I just did. That is so weird. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to tell. Hold on, focus camera, focus. Look at that. The cuts on it, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but that is really cool. All right, let's go ahead and take this plastic ceiling off. The most satisfying thing about buying new games is the plastic ceiling. I think a lot of us will agree with that in the comments down below. Now, normally, we used to like hype this up with like, oh, what's the inside of the cover going to be? Is it going to be something super cool, super awesome? I have heard that there is nothing inside of the cover, which I believe past entries in the Hyrule Warriors games has had a cover. I think most of the first-party Nintendo games has an inside cover, but as you guys see, it is completely blank, which is kind of depressing. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it has any factor into why, Nintendo went with the red cases, so I don't know if we're going to see as many different covers that they've done inside of the cases because of them doing the red cases, because you can't really see them. As you can see, the white is just, it looks red because of the red case. I don't know. I feel like that plays into a part of why Nintendo's doing red cases. That way they don't have to do the alternate covers. I don't know how much money that saves them. Do they pay an artist for that in mind? I don't know. I mean, they have to pay an artist for that, but maybe that's just additional art they were already having planned for future promo stuff. So I don't know how I feel about it, but that's besides the point. Let's take a look at the cartridge, which I do see the cartridge, and it is the most basic cartridge that I think I have ever seen in my entire life. It is just the Hyrule Warriors logo, and that is it. I don't know, I see this and I see so much opportunity to put stuff into this little cartridge. Like, why don't we have Zelda right there? Or why is the background completely black? Like, there's so much you could have done with that. At the same time, though, I do understand that no one cares about what the cartridge looks like. That I am one of probably 3 or 4 people that's going to pay attention to that out of the millions that are going to be picking up this game. So really, it doesn't matter. We got Kirby in 2 weeks, so that's exciting. How many of y'all picking that up? I wish they would do a midnight release with how much they're hyping up that game. Also, kind of would have been cool if they did a midnight release for Hyrule Warriors. I don't really understand why they didn't do that. Well, actually, you know what? I do. I don't think the Hyrule Warriors games are as successful as like your typical Zelda stuff, so that kind of makes sense. But guys, I do want to know, did you pick up Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment? Are you pumped to play it? I definitely am. If you saw my demo video, I talked about how I was really looking forward to playing a new Warriors game with the 60 FPS, because if you played Age of Calamity, it definitely struggled on the frame rate side of things on Switch 1, and I felt like the only thing that was really holding that game back was because of the hardware that it's on. And now with the Switch 2, we have the capabilities of playing these games at 60 FPS, which I think is super duper exciting. And best of all, it's a new game, not like a remaster or some sort, because that's typically what you would see with these 60 FPS games. And now to have a new entry to being able to do 60 FPS, that is like super exciting, especially with the type of game that Hyrule Warriors is. Really looking forward to that. But guys, I have been talking for way too much. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the YouTube, Twitter, well, you're already on the YouTube, but still check out the YouTube page as we upload some amazing content. You guys killed the last video. I was not expecting that video to do as well, so thank you very much for that. And we're getting close to 25,000, so maybe we'll hit that by the end of the year. That'll be pretty cool to celebrate that by the end of the year. Without further ado though, make sure to check out our Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description below. Become a Monado Marine, $5 a month, helps out the channel tremendously. And I will see you guys in the next video.